So here we are, it's a nice spring day, and today is going to be power equipment oil change day. This is my SpeeCo Splitmaster 22-ton log splitter, and to change the oil on this, they had an oil plug here that looked like it was in a really bad place, but the nice thing is there's actually an oil plug underneath the engine. It's kind of hard to see here. Let's see. It's right here. Alright, so the first thing I do when I change the oil in these engines is I warm them up so the oil is flowing a little easier. So we're going to start this guy up, and I'm going to prime it up and turn it on and let it run for a little while. Let it run for about 5 minutes, and then we'll shut it down and change the oil on it. So while it's running, I'll just exercise the piston just to make sure that it's working fine. It's been sitting all winter. Alright, to change the oil on here, I'm going to make this extension out of all my 3/8 extensions on my ratchet so that when I get up underneath there I don't bust my knuckles. But that's what it looks like. Alright, so this is the ratchet with the extensions on it, and just slide it up into the drain plug here. I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, alright. And just start turning it. That's how I keep from busting my knuckles on this thing. Well, they didn't design this really well. I mean, they should have rotated the pump here so that the fittings here were facing a different direction. You see, I've loosened the oil plug just to get it dripping, and it's hitting the fittings here on the hydraulic pressure pump, and it's just rolling off of that into the oil drain pan. Lovely design. So, one knock there for me. Alright, so here's another lovely part to the design they did to this guy, and another knock from me. There's the support bar that they mount the hydraulic pump to, and the oil drain plug kind of drained down on top of it when I pulled it out, and it sprayed the oil all over the place. So not a very good design from SpeeCo. It'd be nice if they did something different there. Alright, so I put the drain plug back in and made sure it's nice and tight, and then cleaned any residual oil off of it. And taking the time while I'm under here just to make sure that the connections for all the hydraulic fittings are all good and tight and not leaking. So just a good all-around check. Alright, since I live up in the mountains, I have to make sure the engine's level before I add the oil to it, so I make sure I don't overfill it. So I'm going to use a level, and then I'm just going to chock up the tires and add some shims to them to make sure everything's nice and level before I fill this guy. But as you can see, I don't have many places that are nice and level that I can use. So for this one, I had to chock up the tire on the right side very far up in the air, about 4 inches. And now we're nice and level in that direction, and we're nice and level in the other direction. Oh, there we go. So now I'm ready to add oil. Alright, to add the oil, this is where you add the oil. You take this out, and you also use that to measure the oil level. Then you stick a funnel in here, and you add oil little by little, and you keep adding it until you push this guy in to check the oil all the way down, and then you want to check and see that the oil is between these two holes here on the dipstick. And once you're at that level, you're full. And then I'm going to start the engine and let it run for a little bit, and then I'm going to check the oil again, make sure nothing is leaking. So I just let this run for about a minute and just make sure that nothing is leaking underneath, and I check under there, make sure that the oil plugs in good, and then we're going to check the oil level, make sure it's still good. You always want to double check the oil level after you change the oil. So we're going to clean this dipstick off on this paper towel here, and then we're going to stick the dipstick back in, make sure it drops all the way down to the bottom. Try not to twist it because it picks up oil off the tube. And there, our oil level is about 3/4 of the way between those two marks from the two holes in the dipstick from the bottom, so I'm going to call that good. And we're going to put this away, and I hope you found something useful in this video, and thanks for watching.